Hey, what's up guys? So Samsung has just launched the Galaxy F42, which is the latest 5G ready mid-range phone. But if you look at any other mid-range phones with a 5G chipset in the market, they are not the best value for money devices. And I feel like the same goes with this phone too. Here, the Galaxy F42 is available in two memory configurations, 6 128GB and 8 128GB, which cost 35,000 rupees and 39,000 rupees respectively here in Nepal. You can expect it to cost over 20,000 in India. I have been using this phone for roughly a day now. On paper, its specs are more or less similar to those of the Galaxy A22 5G. But before discussing my initial impressions of the Galaxy F42, let me quickly unbox this one. Right up, we have the phone itself. This is the light blue color option, while I also have the black color variant, which looks something like this. Let's keep them aside for now. Then there's a 15-watt charger and a Type A to Type C cable. Finally, we have the SIM ejector tool and some paperwork. And that's pretty much all there is inside the box. Okay, starting with the design, the Galaxy F42 does look quite different than your typical A series or M series phone from Samsung. As expected, it has a plastic body with plastic frames and hence is not that heavy, although it's quite thick at 9mm. Its surface is matte and it does feel good and refreshing. Regardless, the black variant here attracts some fingerprints and smudges, whereas the blue variant doesn't. Similarly, in my brief time with this phone, I also noticed the middle section at the back to be hollow, and you will definitely notice if you tap around here. Let me show it to you. And seeing how Samsung has gone with the traditional water drop notch on the front is incredibly disappointing too. Compared to the new Galaxy A52s and the Galaxy M52, this one also has big bezels, especially on the bottom chin, which contributes to a bigger form factor. Plus, this boxy build feels relatively uneasy on the hands as well. Over onto the front, the Galaxy F42 boasts a 6.6 inches Full HD Plus screen with a 90Hz refresh rate. Now, even though an AMOLED display is common on Samsung phones in this price range, I am really surprised to see they settled with a TFT LCD panel here. So yeah, if you are coming from the AMOLED world who is used to the perfect blacks and a rich contrast ratio, then Galaxy F42's TFT panel is obviously going to be a downgrade. Still in all, this phone delivers fairly bright colors, good touch response, and hence my experience with this display so far has been satisfactory, which is also thanks to the smooth 90Hz refresh rate on top of the well-optimized One UI 3.1 core. Moving on, the Galaxy F42 is Samsung's newest smartphone to be powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 700 processor. Having used the Poco M3 Pro 5G, I am pretty familiar with this chipset, so I knew what to anticipate from the F42's performance. As expected, it has handled my everyday tasks admirably so far, and its performance potential is sufficient enough for light to medium usage, including surfing social media, responding to emails, and watching videos. Still, the Dimensity 700 is not the best performance per dollar chipset at this price range, as you can easily get more powerful phones like the Poco X3 Pro, iQOO Z5, and even Samsung's own Galaxy M62. Here, I played some demanding titles such as PUBG and Call of Duty Mobile, both of which max out at medium graphics settings. Under this, slight frame drops are far too common on the Galaxy F42 5G. As a result, you've got to dial down the graphics settings to low for higher FPS and more stable performance. Oh, and how can I forget about 5G? Samsung is heavily promoting Galaxy F42's 12 5G band support, and in all fairness, this does make it a reliable option if you're looking for a 5G phone. Yet, that's essentially useless at this moment, especially in markets like Nepal and India, where 5G deployment still has a long way to go. Camera-wise, there's a triple camera setup at the back led by a 64-megapixel primary, a 5-megapixel ultrawide, and a 2-megapixel depth sensor. Likewise, selfies are handled by an 8-megapixel camera inside the aforementioned notch. I tested its camera quality versus the more expensive Galaxy M52, and as you can see, its 64-megapixel lens is much inferior to that of the Galaxy M52. From details to dynamic range to exposure, everything seems off on the Galaxy F42. Likewise, portraits on the M52 are also superior with better skin tone, background blur, and sharpness. The Galaxy F42 also comes with a subpar 5-megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens whose quality is not that great either. In comparison, images from M52's ultra-wide-angle sensor have better dynamic range, details, and a wider field of view. Coming to the front, the Galaxy F42 even struggles to offer good selfies. It has a soft skin tone and fails to properly maintain things like background exposure. Similarly, for videos, you can record up to 4K 30fps, although a 60fps mode is entirely missing here. And across any resolution, you won't find any kind of stabilization on this phone, and as a result, the videos are wobbly and shaky if you try to vlog or take the phone for a walk. Overall, although I have admired the camera quality and optimization of almost every Samsung mid-range phones in the past, the Galaxy F42 is kind of an exception. Not only does it bring inferior camera hardware, but I believe Samsung is offering inferior software optimization too. So I do hope they send an update to fix this ASAP. Moving on, there is enough battery power inside this thing to last you through the day. Its 5000 mAh cell got me through my regular chores like social media, web browsing, a few hours of gaming, and streaming music. Unfortunately, Samsung is not only offering you a slower 15-watt charger inside the box, but this phone does not support 25-watt charging altogether. Even the cheaper Galaxy M32 and F22 feature 25-watt charging, so I really don't understand this compromise. So there you have it, guys, my short unboxing and impressions of the Galaxy F42. And you might already tell that like most mid-range 5G phones, this one's not the best value phone either, and Samsung has compromised on multiple fronts with the Galaxy F42 just to deliver 5G. Hence, at a similar price range, I recommend you get Samsung's own Galaxy M62, or if you're absolutely set on getting a phone with 5G, you could pay a little bit more and get the Galaxy M52 or the Realme X7 Max, which frequently gets a price cut, or even the new iQOO Z5 instead. So guys, that's all for this video. We are coming up with a lot of interesting unboxings and review videos pretty soon, so stay subscribed to Gadget Byte and don't forget to hit that notifications icon so that you never miss an update. Till then, I'm Pratima Adhikari and I'll see you in the next video.